record button. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon back at home. Yeah, we're just having an interesting discussion about loss. And, one of the things that, has come up is that, loss and saying goodbye to a loved one. And I've got a service I'm going to this Friday. That's why I'm back in the Bay Area. And Erica was sharing a story. And, I had a story too where my mother sent me to say goodbye to my uncle, or just to visit him. Actually, it wasn't really to say goodbye, but I could tell when I walked in the room, he was asleep, but he was severely jaundiced and very bloated and did not look anything like a human being at all. And it scared me. And so my unconscious mind came up and turned me right around, and I left. And I felt bad about leaving like that, but I knew that I could not have that as my last memory of my uncle, that's for sure. So I turned around and I was just talking about that tension of being in that doorway, that threshold, literally, of going in and doing something, of pushing through and having that experience with him or with that loved one. That can be a really beautiful thing. And that's the hard part. That's the really hard part, because I had to push through my unconscious mind that wanted to protect me. And unconscious mind comes in 95% of the time is running everything. The whole show's run by our unconscious mind. So the easiest way to resolve that tension is always going to be the road out. And that was for me to turn around and leave. And so we're kind of laughing about that in a strange way, but that's just how that works. And you guys know that. And this is what we're doing here. We're doing that. That's a different kind of example of it, but in going for the life that we love, going for the success that I've written on the board here, because I want to focus on that today, going for that success in our life, the unconscious mind is going to come up and say, no, like, you can't have that. You are not that. You are this this thing over here. You're this not enough thing over here. You're this wounded thing over here. And it's going to resolve and go back that way. That's why we recode, so we can get past that very difficult tug of war, that inner conflict that's going on, and push you through. We're not changing you in any way. We're not changing any part of you, and no parts of you are dying. We're just rewiring that fear, that automatic reaction to protect you, rewiring that and getting you past the threshold so that you can go ahead and have the success and have the dreams that you so want. It's oh man, it's everything to me. It's everything to me. It's got me where I am today, and I've overcome a lot of things. So moving on, this is Mindset Monday, and welcome to all you guys. We had a great weekend, and I woke up this morning kind of having this really weird inner conflict, but it occurred to me that I don't normally wake up with this little voice of I'm gonna say it was fear. You know what? It was fear. I'm gonna call it was, because it usually boils down to fear. So this little bit of fear came up for me, and I don't even remember what it was about. It was just I woke up, and then that aspect that was going to go and get me off course today, I watched it and I observed, and it's like, yeah, no, not doing that. So thank you very much. And then I decided that I wasn't going to allow it to derail my successful day, my mindset. And here I am talking about mindset today. And it occurs to me that we go to, how are you going to sleep at night? Are you going to sleep at night worried about the day? Right? Because it really starts and stops with how you, and we can change this, how you're falling asleep at night, what you're setting the unconscious mind off on at night, because it's going to unplug, but when you wake up again, it's going to plug back in again where you left off, right? So, what's happening when you go to bed at night, right? Are you setting yourself up for success during the night so that you can wake up in the morning and plug back into that good, positive mindset, that flow mindset? Or are you doing the opposite? Are you going to bed worrying about something, fearful about something, because the worry takes you into fear, or the fear, vice versa, that works together, and then waking up that way in the morning. So I'd like to just encourage you to think about your nighttime routine, and maybe you're just plugging in a inner power meditation. An inner power meditation. And yes, I'm forgive me, I'm not on the chat. I didn't open up the chat, but you can absolutely you can absolutely go ahead and write this down, write down your thoughts and your questions for me. And I'm plugged in now to the to the chat. April says this is interesting because I was struggling to sleep last night and having worries. Yeah, that is a perfect time, right? You know what? It's quiet. And now the unconscious mind has your full attention. 100%. Your body, mind, it is on, and it has got your attention. There's nothing you can do about that, right? Yeah, I got up and did release meditation. Yes. Oh, good. The one I have on my website, really good. And the bonus meditation, good. Oh, that's great. And went right to sleep. It's about turning off that little inner aspect of you that wants to come up, that worry voice that wants to come up and scare you, and get you into, what purpose is it serving? Ask it. What purpose serves you to have me going around in these circles and not allowing me to sleep? Right? It's not logical. Yeah. So grateful for this tool. Thank you, everyone. So I'm so thrilled that you have that tool and that you remember to use it, because sometimes we have the tools and we forget to use them. I forget to use some of the tools that I have sometimes. This morning, I could have allowed that voice to just keep on going and going. And I'm so grateful that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not doing that. We don't do that here. And turn it off. Yes, we do forget sometimes. And another reason why we are in this group together, and we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we have the Ricas, because we have this program that keeps us in the flow. It's like, oh yeah, I'm out of the flow right now. So that nighttime routine, great time to listen to one of the bonus meditations. I guess it was a release meditation. There's so many in there now, I've forgotten how many there are. And then that inner power, great way to get your mindset, into the positive, into where you're going, not where that worry. What is that worried voice doing? It's sabotaging, but what is it really doing? It's just like rehashing this old stuff. And it's like, yes, we're over and done with that. It's a past. Past doesn't even exist anymore. Or is it worried about the future, about what for? The future hasn't gotten here yet. We're creating that right now. So we can turn that voice off, because we're just now getting into creation right now. What's right in front of us, right? That step forward, 1 second to, right? This is already the past, right? Oh, no, that's already the past. So we are creating, literally, we're on the threshold of creation every step of the way. And we get to decide, we get to choose that, rather than allow that worried voice to come in and just, create what it's going to create, because that's not what we want. We don't want that kind of creation. That's not creation. That's hell on earth. That's how you create hell on earth. Somebody brought that up yesterday. That's not what we're creating heaven on earth. And this is how you create heaven on earth. This is exactly how you do it. By taking back the control of that 95%. The 95% that says, no, we're not going this way. Yes, we are. Hop on board. Engine's going this way. So yeah. And when you're waking up in the morning, what's happening there? What's your morning routine? Are you going with that voice? Catch that voice. Catch it. Ask it. What are you doing? What do you want? That's, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. I understand, right? We want to make sure that that aspect is being heard and seen. We want that. We don't want to just shove it back down again. That's true. But thank you. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for warning me. Thank you for being here with me. And we're going this way. And maybe that little voice keeps coming up and needs to be recoded. That's a recode. So yeah, what's that morning routine? So one of the things I talked about last week was, changing your state real quickly with, you can do a pose, the Superman pose or the Wonder Woman pose, right? You stand up and just press out your chest and put up your victory arms like Superman, right? With the cape blowing in the back. You can put on music. You can dance. You can sing. Yeah. You can text or call a loved one. You can just move your body. You can go out and walk. There's so many different things you can do. The fastest thing that you can do to change the mindset is to move your body. It is so hard to get out of a funk from the funk. You got to actually take the body, move it, get it doing something else, focus on something else, lighten things up, and then get into that more positive mindset. Yeah, so that morning routine, when you're waking up, catch yourself. If you're rehashing yesterday or last week or some conversation or some broken relationship, right? From how long ago? A decade ago? Time to cut that off. Yeah, and are you waking up excited and motivated? So if you're not waking up excited and motivated, I want you to definitely be switching that up immediately. I want you to be putting in your magnetic mind alignment, right? Get your magnetic alignment meditation in the morning. Switch it on. Get yourself into that more empowered state. And we're going to start from a more empowered state this morning. I want to start this morning off differently. I want to go ahead and get you into what I'm going to call a success stance. And a lot of times this can be a little bit difficult for some because it's like, wow, they have a hard time accessing success, but we're going to do it today. We're going to find it. I don't care where that time is. It can be when you were learning to walk and everybody was applauding you, right? Whatever it is, or learning to talk and everybody was, excited and proud of you, whatever that is. So I want you to go ahead and remember a time. I want you to remember a time when you can access quickly and easily here. And it's going to be quick and easy. Just have the intention that you can remember it quickly and easily. Your unconscious mind remembers everything, and it remembers it instantly. There's just parts of you that might block it, but your unconscious mind knows it all. So access that time. Go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and access a time when you felt really, really successful. What does success feel like? Go back to that time. Just feeling so successful. You just won an award. You just passed with 100% on that spelling test or that math test in 6th grade. Whatever that time is for you, just go all the way back and breathe and just go all the way back and see what you saw. Be there now, feeling the pride and the joy in your heart, knowing that you did this thing. You did this. It was all you. You did it. You won this thing. You completed this thing. You did the right thing. You helped someone. Whatever that was, just be there now and feel it. Really feel into the pride and the joy in your heart. Your heart's just exploding. It's exploding with the joy and the emotion and even love. It's really a very deep love. It's this amazing feeling that you feel inside. Having helped someone, having achieved this amazing feat, just allow that to happen. Allow yourself to feel the success. Feel it. You are it. You be it. Allow it. Allow it. Let it in. Let it in. You are so deserving. Just let it in. Just feel it. Oh my goodness. And let it be 10 times bigger. Turn those colors up big and bright. And just breathe it in. Is there a smell associated with this success? Can you smell the success? What does it smell like? What fragrance was present? Was there a wind blowing? Was there a warm sun on your skin? Just feel the sensations of that moment. Reliving it. It's right there for you. And you can access this at any time that you like. You can just go right back to this moment at any moment you want. That's right. It's your moment. It's your moment. Congratulations. Here are the people around you congratulating you for a job well done. They're so proud of you. Oh my gosh. Just hear them say, I'm so proud of you. We are so proud of you. Hear the ancestors from all the way down the family line. Just hear their words of praise. I'm so happy for you. So proud. My goodness, so proud. So good. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. And go ahead and open your eyes and come on back to me. Success. We so often, we want it and we push it away. And so often I hear people say, oh, I can't access that. I don't know. So if you haven't been able to access it, let me know. But, you have definitely been successful many times over. So just accessing that and bringing it back on board. I just remember how that felt. So good. So let's talk about the wins from last week. If you're new, maybe you're newer, what was your win from yesterday, right? Or what are your wins for this morning? But what are your wins for next week? Go ahead and write those down if you're at home. And write them down in the chat if you'd like. Some wins from last week, things that you can say, I did that. I crossed off my lenses. I crossed off my goals, got that done. It felt so good. And celebrating that, because when we celebrate that, and this actually goes into the exercise that we just did, into building that success, that feeling of success, the confidence of success. It's all a part of building up on that. Maybe you were in tension with something, you stayed in tension with something. It's like, I really, really, really wanted to just let go and just not bother, just go back to where I started, and maybe you stayed in the tension with that. Maybe it hasn't resolved itself yet, but you're pushing yourself forward with this program and with the class and with the recodes, and that you can feel yourself getting closer. And as you get closer and closer, the tension builds and builds and builds. It does. You got to stick with that. You got to stick with it. What is the unconscious mind trying to keep you from enjoying on the other side of that threshold, right? On the other side of that tension is the glory. That's where the win is. Sticking it out, sticking it out. That's the big thing. Hey, I just got divorced, and believe me, there was a lot of tension. Stayed in tension with my end result. And I made it through. And I'm looking back now, and it's like, wow, it was rough. I understand it was rough, but I stayed in the tension with it. And look at where I am now. And I'm just so grateful. So grateful. Grateful for all the parts of me that had to be brave and push through. And for the parts of me that knew that I just had to stay with it and to see it through the end. I didn't have a choice. I had to see it through the end. I could have given up a lot of times. I could have. I did not. I chose not to. I chose me. I chose to stay true to myself. Good. What worked last week? What strategies worked for you for your last month? If you haven't done this before, it's a new process for you. If you're new into the program, what things do you know work for you? What things are working? I want to do more of those things that are working. Remember the things that, I did this thing and I did it this way and it worked. And if something didn't work out, you just do it again. You learn how not to do it, right? The light bulb, was it 1,000 times before the light bulb was actually invented? Oh my goodness. I've been watching on the History Channel. I love the History Channel. The Building of America, or The Men Who Built America, or something like that. And they had a lot of tension. I'm telling you, they stayed in the tension until they got through. They had a lot of what they would call failures. There's no such thing as failure. Failure is just a stepping stone to success. There's no such thing, really. I mean, right? Instant success. That's not very common. Usually there's steps along the way. It's our journey. We want the journey. We're here for the journey. We don't want to go from day one of birth and then having everything we want to download here. No. That's on the other side. That's on the other side of the curtain. We already have all of that. We came here for the journey, that we can slow things down and put space and time in our way, and our unconscious mind and different obstacles, and see how we weave through that. See how we grow through that. It's all about the growth. Good. What kinds of habits can we change? What are some habits that are not serving us that we can let go of? What are some, maybe it's a habit of beating yourself up when you don't do something the way you think is right. Or maybe it's letting go of someone else's opinions for you, or someone else's good judgments for you, right? Or what they want for you. That's not in alignment with you. If somebody else is wanting something for you, that's not in alignment with you, most likely. They cannot manifest for you. You do that for you. And we cannot manifest for others. As our children grow up, we have to let them go and manifest for themselves. Yeah, we nurture them along the way. And knowing this work, we can do a lot better at that. I wish I'd known all this work when my children were small. I know it now, so I can go back and help them rewire some things. But yeah, it's great information to have raising children. Yeah. And what are the habits? So what are the habits that you can build upon? What are some things that you can bring into your life? What's a good habit? Like this morning, I went to the gym and I met my girlfriend for coffee, and we've gotten out of, since COVID and everything, we kind of got out of our routine. We do go to the gym, we exercise, we do the thing, but we're not doing them like we were before. And I remember walking off today and thinking, we just need to get back in sync. We just need to get back in sync and get into the gym together, motivating each other. So do you need a gym buddy or a workout buddy, or whatever that is, whatever it is that you're working on? Is there someone that you can bring in that, or just some change like that? Just get back into sync. Right? Write the time down in the lenses. I'm doing it this day at this time for this many minutes. Getting that into the lenses. We just so often, oh yeah, I'm going to do this thing. And then we don't nail ourselves down. We don't plan it. We don't schedule it in our day, and it just doesn't happen. Those things don't happen, right? I want to call somebody. I haven't talked to my godmother in I don't know how long, and her birthday's coming up. And, it's like, right, write it down, schedule it, get it done. And you're not wasting so much time beating yourself, especially at nighttime. Oh, I didn't do that thing, right? Write it down, do it the next day, get it off your plate, let your unconscious mind just take rest. What kind of a weekly grade would you give yourself? And again, we don't give ourselves anything less than that average grade of C, because we're not here to beat ourselves up over this. We're just here to say, how did I perform last week? How did that go? Where could I do better, right? So my overall grade, A is outstanding. Can't really improve too much on that. A is outstanding. B is very, very good. I'm an old teacher here. Very, very good. A C is average. There's absolutely nothing wrong with average. Honestly, we live on a planet with how many billions of people? There's all different, right? But that average is in the middle, and we are all average in some different areas. Maybe we excel at some things and we don't at others, but average is still very good. Average is good. Average will still move you forward. There's nothing wrong with being average. You're not always going to have an A week. Not always going to have an A week, but don't let that derail you either, because now you have more information to push you forward. Now you know what adjustments need to be made. You can track this. You can track it in your lenses. What didn't happen yet, or what didn't happen last week, and make sure that whatever came in to derail you gets pushed. It gets taken care of somehow. You change your focus, or you get it recoded. But you can take the action now. It's about taking the action. Sorry, let me go back and check in the I have to switch back and forth. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. There's a chat. I'm sorry. I got off the chat and got busy talking. Oh, good. So, do you have any, Eric was asking if I have any different anchor poses and hand positions. Oh, okay. So I don't know about hand. Oh, you know what? You've got victory, right? You can hold your hands up high, right? And just allow, right, with your hands, just allowing that in, allowing the energy to come in, connecting with the God of your heart to your heart. That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. Yes. The Superwoman or the Superman pose is really good. Yeah, that victory stance is a good one. And just feeling it when you're doing it, you're feeling it, right? Get into it. April said meditating and making some kind of focus and being in the field each day. Yes, yes. Those meditations are so good for that. Oh my gosh, just getting in the field. And the field has been really buzzing lately. I mean, just so much has been. I honestly, I had that little funk this morning, and it's like, no. And I switched it. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, this week is going to be big. The energy I felt it. My whole body was like electrified. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm so glad I unplugged from where my unconscious mind was going to go. And I plugged back into my true choices. And I'm like, wow, it was powerful. I could feel it coursing through my cells. That's when I know I'm on the right track. Erica said, I went to the Sunday Lenses call and came up with a list of actions that I can take this week and move. Yes, beautiful. That is why I love, going on and spending that hour and a half with Rochelle on Sunday. And isn't she cool? She's great. I love her. I love her. And I love her cute little accent. She's just so cute. And the connections that you make in the group. I mean, I've made so many connections. We're from all around the world. It's an amazing thing. And yeah, just taking that extra time and listing things out and hearing what other people are doing, because everybody's busy sharing in the chat what's working or not working for them. I mean, there are some, especially the newer ones, are kind of like, they're still the Debbie Downers, right? They haven't learned how to get in the flow yet. But when you'll see those who are in the flow, they've been doing this work for a little while, and it's a great influence. It's a great way to see how that works for them and what they've been doing with it, and to hear their wins, all the things that they've been achieving since they started the program. Even you guys, since you started the program, has been off the charts. Really good. And then so Erica says letting go of guilt. Yes. You know what? It's guilt and it's shame. We were programmed and conditioned to do what other people wanted us to do by guilting us and shaming us into submitting and doing their bidding, right? Doing what they wanted. So yeah, letting that go. That's not on you. That's on them. That's on them for doing that to you, right? Whew. Yeah, that's theirs. Send that back energetically. Just send that back. Really great observation. Thank you. Yeah, starting each day off with a meaningful process. Yeah, so letting the unconscious mind. Can you imagine? Billions of people are out in this world and they're waking up and they're allowing that chatter to go on from yesterday, last week, last year, a decade ago. Imagine. I mean, that's how we end up with in Spanish we say bitterness. That's what makes people bitter, right? How many people in your life do you know that they're just a bitter old man or a bitter old woman? They never got out of that broken structure. They were not broken. They thought that they were the problem. They were not the problem. They were in that broken structure, allowing the unconscious mind to tell them and feed them the lies and keep them small. Imagine the power of that. To unleash this new way. That's a part of what I want to be a part of. It's a huge movement, and you guys are a part of it too. And so I'm so excited that you're here. I'm glad that you're playing with me here. Really good. And then April says they're a lifeline for me. Yes, really good. So good. Yes. Having a tool, having a go-to to help us get out of it, because this is not something that we get from our friends, right? When we go talk to our friends, they're like, sometimes we just can't tell them what we're doing. They're like, oh, what's different with you? What do you do? They want to know. And then when you tell them, right? And then they're like, oh, Sarah's not here because Sarah manifested a freaking awesome new job for herself, off the charts. Well, there was a relationship that was in there, and he told her, oh, that magnetic mind stuff, that doesn't work. She manifested this amazing job in like 2.5 months. I mean, she wasn't even starting there. She was just looking for a place to live when I started, because the relationship fell apart. Things were everything, her whole life just blew up. She's got 2 kids that she's got to, fend for. And this person came along, and this happens. A relationship will feel threatened. That other person feel threatened because when he met her, she was a damsel in distress. Now he's talking to a powerful woman who's now in charge of running a world-class facility, Aquarian facility, and teaching autistic children, how to ride a horse, and how, all of that, all that healing that happens with that. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. This was her life mission. It was her dream. She'd been working on it for like 8 years. She got it like that. And he couldn't handle it. He was coming in to rescue her. And if you ask her, she's had a relationship like that where they came to rescue her, and then that didn't work out so well. Because that change, they see that change and they can't handle it. Oh boy, I'm supposed to be the one who's powerful. I'm saving you. Yeah. She didn't need saving. She wasn't broken. She was just in the wrong structure. She got in the right structure, and all of a sudden things changed. Now, looking at that, right, that relationship, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of harping on this a little bit. Yeah, the relationship thing, great. Do you want somebody who's you're up here, they're down here. You want that person to come up and meet you? That's great if they are willing to. But are you going to go back down and meet them where you were before? I don't think so. Now that you're up here, manifest a relationship with somebody who's up here with you, who can meet you at this vibration, at this level. How powerful is that? Yeah. Imagine all the relationships that went back down. Yeah. Really good. Thank you for all those amazing, beautiful comments. And word for the week. What is a word for the week that you can, like, as a mantra for yourself? You can even write it on a sticky note. You can write it on an index card. I'm using his index card now. You can write it down. You can paste it somewhere. You can write it in your notebook, write it in your lenses. Yeah, it should get in your lenses anyway. But what is that one word that you can use as a mantra that's just going to snap you right back in? It's like, once you realize, you become conscious of, oh my gosh, things are gone wonky. I don't know, you're in the funk. What's the word? What's the word that's going to snap you back into your reality, into waking up and getting back into your flow? It's like, I gotta recode. I gotta go on with Linda. Whatever it is, right? It's gonna get you right back in the flow. Is that word consistency? Is it being grounded? Is it focus? Is it independence, devotion? I don't know. Write down in the comments, the kind of words that come up for you. What's the word that you'd like to choose? Optimism, self-care, inspired, motivated. What are some of those things for you? Passion. Oh my gosh, I love that. Passion, of course. That needs to be on my list. It's not on my list. Passion, exactly. Passion. Anything else? And at home, you should be writing that down. Oh, drive. I really like that. That's a great word. Drive. Passion and drive. And writing that down at home, putting it in your lenses. And just, when that word comes, that bam, something's gone a little sideways. That little voice is coming up, wanting to sabotage. Passion. Bring you right back in. The action behind the desire, or desire is another one, isn't it? Yes, desire, exactly. Passion. I love the word passion. The word desire for me, desire is good as long as it's not wanting. When we get into wanting, we're lacking. We're focused on the lack on the wanting of something and not having it. So maybe a great word is having. Ooh, having, or even allowing. Although some of you don't allow yourself to have things, to have a success. Are you allowed? I did a talk on that probably a couple of months ago. Maybe it's time to swing back around about allowed. What are you allowing into your life? What are you allowing yourself to receive? I know you're all giving. You're all very giving, generous, amazing people. What are you allowing yourself to get back? What are you allowing? Yeah, Erica said those are great. Nice. Good. Thanks. Inspired. You're inspired by what you guys are writing down here. Really good. Self-care. How'd you do last week in your self-care? I was up in the mountains and it was really, really hot. I had my dog who wasn't supposed to be with me, but long story short, I got out and walked a few times, but it was so hot. And if I didn't get out the door with him early in the morning, we couldn't do it. So I'm definitely back here getting to the gym, getting out my walk. If I have to get up early in the morning or go later in the evening, hit my sister up. Self-care, drinking enough water, eating the right foods. What are you doing? How give yourself a grade for that. How'd you do last week? And what can you change? What can you do differently? Maybe I have to, buy more vegetables and more fruits. Maybe I have to clean that up, on a Saturday or Sunday and have it on my lenses that I prepare food for the week. I can freeze stuff. I can cook and freeze stuff when I have some time. It doesn't take a lot of time to really do those things. I know it's like The unconscious mind likes to be lazy because, the unconscious mind, let's face it, we have a reptilian brain, right? We have 3 brains. The reptilian brain just wants to do nothing, wants to be lazy. And we all have it, and we all have to fight with it. We do. But when you think about it, it only takes a few minutes to wash up a few vegetables and put them you can wash up a bunch of vegetables and put them, or fruits, whatever, and put them in the refrigerator, and they're ready to go. They're ready to go for several days. So it's really not that hard. So self-care. Maybe it's relaxation. Maybe it's getting, a massage. Whatever. My daughter took me out on my birthday weekend, and we got a pedicure. It felt so, every time I look at my toes, I know guys, it's like, wow. But anytime I look down, and people, even my friends are like, oh my gosh, you look so good, right? Because we weren't able to do that for a long time. It's like, yeah, first time out of COVID, and my nails are done, and they look pretty, and I feel so good every time I look at them. Whatever that is, right? That makes you feel good inside, that motivates you, that gives you passion, that feeds your passion. I want to make sure we're doing that. What are 2 non-negotiable goals for you this week? What are 2 things that you can absolutely do this week that they are going to move that needle forward for you? 2 non-negotiable things. And if you haven't filled out your lenses yet, because maybe you didn't go on yesterday with Rochelle, or we're going to meet up tomorrow just for that little pick me up, right? That extra little session for you to get that done. Yeah. What are 2 non-negotiable things that you're going to put down in your lenses this week? 2 things I'm absolutely going to commit to doing them. They're going to move the needle for me. I'm going to feel so good when I get that done, right? I'm going to celebrate the fact that I got that done. Maybe there's one thing, maybe it's a hard thing. Maybe it's just one thing. That one thing you've been putting off because you didn't, right? It's that, staying in the tension with that one thing and resolving it that way. We're gonna move forward this week. I'm gonna get that thing done. Mark it off, and just see how amazing that can be for you. Just visualizing, crossing that thing off, and how great that's gonna feel once it's done. That success feeling that we had before. Really good. So I'd like to just finish off one more time. I want you to close your eyes, and I want to go back into that feeling of success. Close your eyes and go back to that beautiful feeling of success. Be there now. See it, hear it, feel it, smell it, taste it. Just feel that inside. Just let that well right back up inside, that feeling, that amazing feeling. Yes, you did it. And as you see yourself walking through this week, checking off all the items, all those things that are going to bring you one step closer to your beautiful desired result, your end result. Breathe that in. See yourself just moving toward that goal, just taking one more step forward, and one more step, and one more step, and being in that end result. Just be there now. Be in your end result, and turn back. And I want you just to thank the you sitting in the chair right now. Thank the parts of you that had to work so hard to push through to get to this end result. Thank you, thank you. And then go ahead and ask, sitting in the chair, ask that future aspect of you, how did I get there? What did we do? What steps did we take? It knows, it has the roadmap. You created it in the invisible, and it's just time for it to come into the physical right now by taking the action. And just receive those instructions, and thank the future aspect of you that is just waiting and rooting you on, applauding you. Can't wait for you to catch up with it and to start creating something new again. What adventures lie ahead? Wow. So much lies ahead for you. So many great things. So much passion, so much joy, so much happiness, so much success. That's right. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and come on back to me. Take a nice deep breath in, start to move your body. Feels so good. Really good. Awesome. And that is our wrap for Monday. Go have a fabulous week. Go be magnetic. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.